Okay, so I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is actually talk about something serious and that isn't really just me. And what is this tendril I have going on here? Anyway, so I thought I would go ahead and address the elephant in the room, which is my rapid cycling bipolar disorder. It's something that I have finally been diagnosed with after decades of thinking that I just had depression, which apparently is a very common thing according to the National Institute for Mental Health. The reason being that people, when they are depressed, tends to be when they go to the doctor saying something is wrong with me. And so they then get diagnosed with depression, which is the wrong diagnosis and puts you on the wrong medication. For years I was taking antidepressants, which did not work. I would get, side effects, some of which have now become permanent. I have a permanent little finger jiggle, which is not very noticeable by anyone except me, but does make it very difficult to hold on to pens, pencils, paintbrushes, and other things that are kind of necessary to engage in my hobby, which is making art things. Let's just discover it with that. Now, I don't really want to address the science of it so much because there's much better videos and articles that are available if that's the side of the thing that you're looking at. What I'm looking at is what it's like to actually be a person with, this stupid, afflicting mental illness. Let's face it, is what it is. It's got the stigma attached because, oh, there's something wrong with their brain. That's fine. I'm not stupid. I have almost an entire master's degree, thank you very much. What I really want to address is, if I may paraphrase Dr. Cox from Scrubs, I want to address what it's like when the captain of your brain ship is drunk at the wheel. Because that is exactly what it is like to have this constant bouncing and swinging back and forth. Now, the difference between bipolar disorder, the normal bipolar disorder, and rapid cycling is that another tendril. Did I not just switch so that I would not have a tendril? When you're kind of a standard bipolar depression, let's call it, not normal, but standard, it's, you have your swings from high to low, from suicidal depression all the way up to I am fucking king of the universe mania. Rapid cycling means that process happens a lot, and it happens very quickly. In my case, I can go through a cycle not just from month to month, but from week to week, and as is very much the case between the more specific moods, that can be from hour to hour. I can wake up in the morning feeling absolutely furious at everything, even though I have just woken up, and an hour later I will be crying because the world is so beautiful. It literally makes no sense, and there's nothing that you can really do to control it. You're sitting inside your head. It's like there's that little piece of you that's looking out, watching your body do this stuff. So like, you can be, and I have been in this position before, you can be at work, someone has made you sit at a different desk than where you normally sit at. Now, a normal person, someone who has control over what the hell their brain is doing, is going to look at that, be momentarily inconvenienced, and then say, well, it's just for today. As opposed to, it is the end of the fucking world, I am going to pitch a fit right in the workroom, screaming and crying and taking an hour to calm down from this mess and still spend the rest of the day in a horrible mood, but at the same time knowing that you are acting like a crazy person. Being inside your head and watching this happen to you is what it is. It's not watching something you are doing. It's watching something that is being done to you, which is a very weird way to put it. It makes it sound like you're possessed. I'm not possessed. Thank you very much. I'm sure I would know that. Now, this isn't to say that it's always disastrous. It does have a massive impact on your school, your work, because, I mean, let's face it, what it means is that you are an unreliable person. You can't even rely on yourself to know what, you know, I'm sure a, quote, normal person would know that when they wake up tomorrow, aside from, possibly having like a headache or something, that they're going to feel pretty much the same way that they feel right now. But if you are like me, then you have no fucking clue. You literally can go to bed the happiest person ever and then wake up wanting to kill yourself. And it's not helped by, in fact, to put it this way, because I actually said this to a couple people who are similarly non-standard in their brain equipment. Remember when, it's not that long ago, I don't know why I'm saying remember when, unless you're watching this like 5 years in the future. Remember when Robin Williams died, and there were news articles saying that, that news articles and reports and stuff were having to be careful not to, incite people to emulate it. But the thing is, what the news cycles made it seem like was that people would look at it and go, oh, well, he had everything and he's depressed, so he killed himself. What hope is there for me? What is, what me and the people that I was talking to, it isn't so much that, it's that when you hear that somebody has committed suicide, the first thought in your head is not, oh, well, their life was better than mine, why am I still trying? The thought is jealousy. You're jealous because they managed to take that step. They managed to go from being alive to not being alive. And when you are depressed, that is like the greatest thing ever. Is to, see, I've gone into crying now. To think that you can finally, you know what? I'm going to use someone else's words again. I used Dr. Cox, now I'm going to use, oh, God, snotty much? Now I'm going to use, Ali Brosh. She does, hyperbole and a half, and she had it in I think it's in her book. I don't know that she put it on the blog, but I'm pretty sure it's in the book, which is that you don't want to kill yourself, you just want to be dead. If there was a button that would erase you, you would push it. But you're not going to necessarily walk out into traffic, or jump off a cliff, or take all your lithium in one go. You're not going to make that step. You just wish that you did not exist. Was that not just the sexiest thing you've ever seen? No, that's what depression is like. It's not feeling sad. It's that. Okay? So, people always make the mistake of saying, oh, well, depression isn't so bad. I was feeling depressed on Monday, blah, blah, blah. It's not the same thing, okay? Feeling momentarily sad because your team lost, or because you have to work over vacation, or I don't know, whatever your reason is. It's not the same as being actually clinically depressed. So, let's go to the other side of things and cheer ourselves up a bit. Mania. Mania is the other pole, and it's a great pole, okay? It's the one that might also end you in, a police cell or a hospital or whatever, psych ward, because people tend to do really stupid stuff. But basically what it is you feel so fucking awesome. I cannot even express the amazing way you feel. It's like, I used the phrase before, like you're a king of the world and stuff, which is, in my case, queen, thank you very much. But it's like, you can do anything, you can be anything, you can accomplish anything, but that's also when you tend to do the really stupid things that are going to, it's it's not like it's not like you're gonna hurt yourself physically. You tend to hurt yourself in other ways. Financially, for example, when you empty your bank account because you absolutely have to watch all of Xena for a week. Even though you've seen every episode, even though nowadays I would just download it. But there was a time, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, when that was absolutely what I had to do. I could not get it out of my head. I had to do it. It was almost a compulsion. I had to do that thing, and at whatever cost. So people do tend to go on shopping sprees. They tend to sometimes make grandiose claims or whatever. I'm not one of those people. I know myself pretty well. I never really tend to go to the really, really far extreme. Rather than, for one thing, I'm unemployed, so spending sprees aren't really in the budget, as it were. The most expensive thing I bought recently, I spent $5 on a plastic skull at Food Max. And I painted it white, and I'm slowly sugar sculling it. He's got a mustache because he must ask you a question. Yes, I know, that joke is ancient. Shut up. But $5, that was the most I spent. And that is an example of how I channel my mania, is I channel it into art. It gives you something, when you're manic, you have incredible focus and concentration. Hours just fly by while you are slowly, in my case, slowly dotting a single dot each time. Other people, I'm sure, they have their own way of coping, get drunk or whatever. I don't know, because I'm not them. I just know what I do. And what I do is just so much art. so much art. I can't even tell you how much I've done this week while I've been, as you can imagine, for someone who has to live, or in my mom's case, support someone who, it can be, I'm sure, really hard, because you're having to watch them do stupid things and mess up their lives and have trouble getting their life back together, because you have to get your life back together every few months, because you're constantly ruining it. Made myself cry again. It's super easy to do. I can cry at the drop of a hat. I should be a freaking actress, because it's absolutely no difficulty whatsoever. Or I should be like those people in I forget which Asian country it is, but where they are paid mourners at funerals. And I should get a job as something like that, where it's like I go as no. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're somebody who has just recently been diagnosed and you're watching this video for some reason, I don't know what your reasons are for watching this video, but I just want to say, these are my medication bottles. It doesn't seem like, it's only 3, it doesn't seem like a lot, but in order to control this, I have an anti-anxiety pill, which coincidentally is also an antihistamine, and the last time I drank wine, I did not get a headache, possibly because headaches, if you're not allergic to nitrates, which I'm not, it tends to be a histamine reaction. So that's very interesting, and I can't wait to try again and see if I can repeat that, because in that case, that's pretty awesome. I also have been getting bug bit incredibly, but not as itchy as I used to be. So it's kind of a double whammy of goodness. So anti-anxiety. This is an antipsychotic. It's supposed to even out your mood swings so that you're more on a level keel than doing such wild up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is lithium, which you probably know what lithium is. I am an unemployed person, and Obama is president. My medication is free. If you're in California, I highly advise you to look into Medicaid. That's what I have. It's a state service. You end up getting a state benefits card, which doesn't get you like welfare and well, I don't know. It might get you welfare and stuff. I don't get welfare. I just get medical and dental. So if you are in that situation, I highly advise you to look into that. It's a scaling service based on your income. Since I have zero income, I pay zero. It's just a side note into here. If you're in a state other than California, look for similar programs. Oregon has one, I know that. Find out about what you would want to do is contact your Department of Human Health Services, or Human and Health Services. Department of Health Services. It's in the phone book. That's how old I am. I still look in the phone book. Don't let this beautiful face disarm you. I'm old enough to still think phone books are the way that you find a phone number. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you didn't like this video, then, subscribe anyway. You never know, I might do something you do like in the future. And, be moosey.